The war between Russia and Ukraine is still going on. This war that has been fought for more than a year is far from over, and it is suffering for both countries. If such consumption continues, Russia's comprehensive strength will inevitably be greatly weakened, but Russia's strategic power will not have any influence at all, which is what Western countries are most afraid of. Perhaps for Russia, when it comes to Ukraine, Russia does not need to use strategic bombers, strategic nuclear submarines, and intercontinental missiles. These important weapons of the country are obviously aimed at Western countries. Although Russia has been weakened a lot, Russia's foundation is still solid. As the country with the most nuclear warheads in the world, even if the Western countries repelled the Russian army, they would not dare to attack the Russian mainland. Otherwise, no one can afford the consequences of nuclear war. Russia's surface ships have not developed much in recent years, which has also caused the Russian Navy to not improve much, especially the only aircraft carrier that is still undergoing major repairs. Although surface ships have not made much progress, Russia has focused on submarines, especially Russia's strategic nuclear submarines, which are second to none in the world, and only the United States can match them. Russia now has at least 10 nuclear submarines that can be dispatched at any time. You have no idea where these 10 nuclear submarines are. They may be in the Arctic Ocean, in the Western Pacific Ocean, or in the Atlantic Ocean. It is precisely because of the concealment of submarines that the deterrence of nuclear submarines has become stronger. According to reports from the World Wide Web, Russia will strengthen its activities in the Pacific Ocean to deal with the increasing risks facing the Russian Far East. Although there is the Russian Pacific Fleet here, Russia needs to deploy more powerful strategic nuclear submarines here to deter opponents. In the Far East, Russia's biggest opponent is the United States. Whether it is American warships or American submarines, they often operate around Russia, sometimes cruising near the border, in order to detect every move of the Russian Navy. There is also a country that Russia hates very much here, and that is Japan. This country that has coveted the 4 northern islands for a long time cooperated with the United States to sanction Russia, openly visited Ukraine, and continued to support Ukraine, which made Russia very angry. Therefore, Russia needs to deploy strategic nuclear submarines here, so that Japan dares not act rashly. Russia has announced relevant plans to speed up the construction of infrastructure on the Kamchatka Peninsula and deploy the strategic nuclear submarines Belgorod and Khabarovsk here as quickly as possible. Why is Russia's strongest dual nuclear submarines exposed at this time? Many people may not be very familiar with these 2 nuclear submarines, and there are very few countries in the world that can match them. The Belgorod nuclear submarine is called the Doomsday Submarine by NATO. This special nuclear submarine has greatly enhanced Russia's nuclear deterrent capabilities. The submarine is 184 meters long, with a full load displacement of 23,760 tons. It is equipped with 2 nuclear power reactors and has a maximum underwater speed of 32 knots, which is larger than the 18,700 tons of the U.S. Ohio-class strategic nuclear submarine and the Soviet/Russian Type 941 strategic nuclear submarine. The Khabarovsk special nuclear submarine has a full load displacement of more than 10,000 tons, a speed of 32 knots, and a maximum dive depth of 500 meters, but other related performances are still highly confidential. Although its tonnage is much smaller, it is more flexible underwater, and its cost is lower. Because it is a special nuclear submarine, everyone will not underestimate its nuclear strike capability. It is not too much to call these 2 strategic nuclear submarines Doomsday Submarines. Many people may not know what the Poseidon supernuclear torpedo is. It belongs to a large autonomous unmanned underwater vehicle equipped with a nuclear power plant and a nuclear warhead. It weighs about 100 tons and can reach a speed of 200 kilometers per hour. It can easily pass through the opponent's interception, and it is a huge threat to coastal cities. Once it is detonated, the consequences will be disastrous. Russia's deployment of these two Doomsday nuclear submarines on the Kamchatka Peninsula is obviously aimed at the Western Pacific, which also means that Russia will increase the scope and frequency of its activities in the Western Pacific. These two nuclear submarines can carry at least 12 Poseidon supernuclear torpedoes in total, and their deterrence is still very large. Once they reach the west coast of the United States, they can directly threaten all coastal cities in the west of the United States. In short, it is easy for them to hit the United States or Japan. This Russian deployment is obviously aimed at Japan. Japan continues to support Ukraine on the Russia-Ukraine issue and wants Russia to return the 4 northern islands. Then it aimed at the United States, which has always supported Ukraine. Finally, if you like this video, please like, follow and repost.